I've never seen it.
Have you not?
No, I've never seen it. Because when I went to the audition, I hadn't actually ever seen Spooks.
Well, it was a turning point in modern British drama. Particularly given that...
Apparently I can get it on DVD.
Particularly given that the lady who involved with the Deep Fat Fryer was at the time
wonderful actress.
One of the nation's sweethearts.
Yeah.
from appearing in... It was Casualty, wasn't it?
Lots of things, Peter. Loads of things.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I had particularly been... she'd caught my eye in a medical drama. And so that, combined with the shape of her untimely demise, was pretty shocking.
Bad things do seem to happen to particularly female characters quite a lot. I mean, Ruth does have a pretty rough time of it. I mean, that's a bit of a slightly old-fashioned sense of we'd better rescue the girl, is it? Or
I think it's sort of there's always been two things going on in Spooks. You have the very strong women who are running heading up the section, like Hermione Norris's character for series, and no one would mess with Roz, and her fighting, running, jumping, hunting, shooting skills rivaled and exceeded those of any man. So you always have those leading women, there are no other programmes on British television giving women those roles. So I mean, that in itself is remarkable. But you do have my character, who is a desk spook. She's an analyst. She's all about bits of paper, and well, now she's gone very it's all very technological. So when Ruth goes out, it does often end in disaster because she's not really ever been equipped for that. And I think the writer started to look at that, what does happen to Ruth when she's put in mortal danger. And actually she fared rather well last series. She handled herself brilliantly with a man who was actually in real life some sort of bare knuckle fighter. I found out he was very large.
He was a cage fighter, wasn't he?
He was huge, man. And the fight director looked at me on the first day, and he was hoping he was going to get one of the the big butch blokes to do a big fighting scene with. And in I come. And he just looked really disappointed. And we choreographed that fight sequence for about a day and then shot it over 2 days. And it was it's the best fun I've ever had. It was absolutely brilliant. I got to crash into like fake bookshelves and hit him over the head with a rubber iron. It's all your fantasies as a child about becoming an actor. That's the other thing about Spooks. When you're a kid and you think, I want to act, you imagine getting to do stuff like that. And the reality is, I spent a lot of time doing rather bad plays in the regions in very small theatres that no one came to. So you get Spooks, and suddenly you're running around with guns and you're hitting people and you're solving, you're solving problems, and you're super intact. You get to be a hero. And there isn't much telly that we make in this country that's like that.
Nicola, you've talked about the Spooks look, this kind of very serious look that you all have to have on set. Can you just talk us through that a bit?
Yeah, there definitely is a Spooks look, and I feel it as the years go by. I feel I want to rebel against that when we're just rehearsing before a take. There are takes out there that are ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous, because you have to maintain this serious look, because everything is on an alert scale of number 10. Everything is dire. And that means that when we're rehearsing, we're often incredibly childish as a result of that. And the outtakes, which of course will never be released because it would be an affront to the production to see actors running around.
Well, it's an 11-hour shoot
foolish.
day and 6 days a week, so
You've got
to maintain that threat level of the heightened tension for 11 hours is too much to ask of anybody. So we do...
And you go mad about 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Once you've been in the meeting room for 6 hours, everyone goes a bit potty. You can time your watch by it. We always, you just go, it must be about 4 o'clock now, because everyone starts revealing far too much about themselves and their personal lives. And it gets, typically among actors, it gets rather crude. And then it's, and roll over action, and you're back in, and you're back in with this very straight exterior with Peter Firth looking at you with extremely twinkling eyes. And my favourite game has been watching new people come in and them thinking they can triumph over Peter Firth's twinkling eyes, and watching each one of them fall during takes. They're blam, blam, down they go, corpsing, laughing. Peter's looking at me, Peter's looking at me.
You're not allowed to look.
You'd be saying, but I'm your boss, I'm just looking at you. And he's such a minx, because he knows what he's doing and he can hold it. He can hold the Spooks look.
Turning particularly to Ruth and Harry's relationship, they don't seem to be able to find a way to have a normal life together, and yet Erin Watts, this new character that's come in with the final series, specifically says at one point, you can do this job and have a normal life. Why don't they just get married?
Well, because it wouldn't be the story if we did that. I mean, will they, won't they, is a great audience draw, isn't it? Particularly in our case, we seem to have managed to drag that out to its maximum.
I think we're very honest with each other in this series. It's very grown up. I think Erin's very young, and she comes in and is very idealistic. And I think there's Harry and Ruth, like these old warriors. They're battle weary. Their heads are bloody but unbowed, and they look at Erin Watts, and it's her job to bring in that enthusiasm in their working environment, but they're pretty battle scarred, Ruth and Harry, and there must be a part of them that think, well, you wait and see, because it becomes complicated for her character to have a normal life and do the job she's doing.
Well, yes, when you see a character in episode 1 giving their small daughter a hug, you do fear for them in Spooks, don't you, really?
Rightly so. Yeah.
So, turning to some questions that we've had tweeted in, Spooks Taxes wonders if you would like to work on a long-running show like Spooks again, or whether you prefer shorter projects.
Well, it depends entirely on the project involved, I think. I mean, I've been an actor for 43 years, and I've managed to avoid serial television until Spooks came along, and it was only the quality of the finished product that persuaded me to stay for that long. I've avoided it for the obvious reasons of not wanting to get trapped in something that then kind of moulded you for life. But with Spooks it was worth it, and hopefully there is life after Spooks for an actor.
Well, I can't imagine that it's going to be an albatross round the neck. We both are known for playing those parts, and but they're such amazing creations. They're not bad attributes to be saddled with, these.
Well, it can go either way, can't it? It can go either way. I mean, it can be the road to oblivion or the stepping stone to stardom.
I remember when I left for a bit, I did another programme, and it was quite gritty. And in this programme, I was sort of I wasn't very attractively made up. And Peter left a message saying, "Oh, darling, is that why you left us? Did you wanted to cry and wear cardigans?" And I thought, no, there's something to that. I do actually want to run around and save the world. Yes, crying in cardigans is okay, but it's kind of cooler to run around and be a hero. But we'll see, won't we?
We will.
Another listener, young Harry fan, wonders if you have a favourite episode.
I haven't seen it yet, but I think the last episode of Series 10 is going to be my favourite. From how it felt when we shot it, from the location. That kind of look, I really do.
Agree with that. We haven't seen it, but it certainly has all the hallmarks of being a great bit of telly.
I have a favourite shot, I can tell you. My favourite shot is last year's opener, when you were stood outside the ex-Home Secretary's house, and the shot, it was you with your back to the camera in the rain, I think, and you turned into. I just think it's the most beautiful, proper espionage shot. It made me stand up and clap at my own telly. It's like I'd never seen Spooks in my life.
So you were talking about that last episode there, Nicola. Jacko XX21 wonders what it was like filming those last scenes together. Was that an emotional experience?
It was emotional, yes, because the context of the material, I'm not sure how much I should...
You're not allowed to say anyway.
Okay. But the context of the story was such that it coincided a little bit with our real lives, that at the end of a chapter in more ways than one. So it was quite emotional, and the content of the scene is emotional too, so you'll be seeing in that some... there's not much acting required, actually.
There wasn't.
It's us just...
And they went with the first take, actually.
Yeah.
We were losing the light, and it was cold, and it'd been a long day, and I think we got about two goes at it, and they went with the first take. I spent a lot of this last series just sort of grabbing Peter's hand, or just holding him, or standing very close to him, probably really annoying him.
Never.
Because, my thing I'm going to miss is seeing Peter every year for 6 months. I mean, unless I actually get divorced and marry him, but
that will be 12 months, though. That might be a different story entirely.